Hi, my name is Jennifer Giddings, and I am going to talk about my business, JL Originals Bow-tique, and show some of the products that I have made and still make to this day for my business, and explain the process of how I source materials, come up with some of my ideas for customers and for personal making. So let's begin with some of my crocheted items because this is really part of how I got my start crocheting. So a few years ago, I found this very chunky, kind of fun yarn and decided to be adventurous and create these mermaid tail blankets for kids. So there's a few colorways here that I made. And then these are a couple of little kids trying out my blankets. And on the left here, I also experimented with making very tiny ones for a newborn with a little bikini top for photo shoots and just to experiment with size. I'm now going to move into, let me see where I'm going to go. I'm going to go to some of my t-shirt quilts because this is also where I began from a young age, was doing quilting. So around the early 2000s, I started making memory t-shirt quilts. And some individuals had very specific ideas of how they wanted their quilts to look, whereas others I was given creative freedom to make a design of my choice. So this one is made from all baby clothes. So once I had the box of clothes that was shipped to me, I looked at the colors and looked at the size of the different garments to see what would be an appropriate size to make the squares. And then I have an embroidery machine. So on the top, I have embroidered the initials of the child that this was for. And these were made by a grandmother for her grandchildren, that the grandmother had saved the clothes. So it was a brother and a sister. So this is the brother's quilt of the same family. And same thing, I looked at the colors and looked at the size of the garments to see what size squares and what type of a pattern would be appropriate. This was a memory quilt that was actually made with students, where I went from classroom to classroom and we each class created a block. And then again, I decided how everything was going to fit together and things were going to work. So we made this quilt kind of as a collaborative effort, actually, with school. And then these are kind of a zoom in of all the individual blocks that the students created. And there were some empty blocks with the math configurations. So I have an embroidery machine and I decided to make some special blocks. This was for the school nurse at the time who was suffering from brain cancer. And unfortunately, she did pass away. So I'm hoping that this is with her children. So this was in 2018. This is another special block that I created as part of this piece. And then this one was from a student that enjoys sports. This was also a quilt for a teacher at school. Her husband had passed away and she had saved all of his clothes. So I made two different quilts for her two daughters. So again, I was kind of given creative freedom here to choose the background color fabrics and figure out size and how this was going to work. And I did some applique here with some of the different special. Here I used his Harley cap, and I made an applique. Here I made an applique also with a piece of the jeans that I was given. So it's really nice when people give me things and then I can use my individuality and my thoughts to put things together. This is a football memory sport quilt also for a customer. Let me see where I'm gonna go. So this was something, a holiday something that I came up with on my own to embellish these witch hats. So this was really great that I was able to source all the materials and play and put together different kinds of, there's feathers and tulle and ribbon and even the spider detail. So these were something that were really fun. And then I also make these tutu bags with tulle and ribbon and embroidery. This is my daughter in a costume that I made, a witch with the hat. This is my other daughter where I purchased fur and I was able to create this wolf costume without a pattern. I just kind of went with it, and it worked. So these are all Halloween themed items. So this is, let me see where this, birthdays. So this is a folder full of all custom birthday items that I've made with embroidered t-shirts and hair bows and tutus, and there's even some jewelry. Birthday hats. I actually made this pattern and played with figuring out how to make it stay together and be stiff and how to cover it. So I've made quite a few of these birthday hats where I embroidered on the shape before I assembled. Let me see what else is here. This was a custom t-shirt that then I sewed the tutu on, and then this is the hair bow to match. This was a t-shirt with a bow tie and suspenders. So all of these items I created and then made, and the tutus I assembled by sourcing tulle and ribbon, and I experimented with quite a few different ways of how to make the tutu. I tried making them with elastic. I tried making them with these headbands that they sell, this headband material. And eventually I ended up landing on just making them on the elastic, which worked the best. So there's quite a few. This one has a matching wand. So people could get just a piece or a whole ensemble. So this one here is a whole ensemble with the shirt and the tutu. This was a custom outfit that I made where I embroidered the shirt, customized with a name, made the matching dress, and then the matching hair bow. And then there was extra fabric, so I made an extra skirt. Here's one of my happy customers wearing her pigtail bows and her number 2 t-shirt for her birthday. This was another custom where I made bloomers to match with the hair bow on the elastic. And somewhere I have a picture of that little one wearing her outfit.